Hello everybody, this is Kay,
And this is Mo,
and welcome to Total Law.
where we'll be discussing the 5th episode of Game of Thrones, titled The Door.
What
Titled The
episode?
Door. The Door.
The door?
The Door.
Hold the door! So what do you think about the episode, Mo?
I think it was the best episode this season.
I agree.
Without a doubt.
I agree.
And we learned a lot about the past, about magic.
About Hodor, what does he Hodor?
Why is he holding all the time?
Finally, because we've been, most fans have been questioning, why is he so important? Why is he always there? What's the point of having him there if he's just saying Hodor?
I love
he isn't contributing anything other than Hodor and carrying Bran. Yeah.
I love how the author J.R.R. Martin thought of this name, Hodor, from the first book. He thought of it. And he was going to reveal it, we hope, in the Winds of Winter. So
Yeah.
he thought of the reason why. It's amazing. That's very.
Hodor ended up saving Bran's life, so it's an important task of all.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. Okay. The episode started with back at the wall with Sansa and Jon and Brienne. I think Sansa she receives a letter with well, she's sewing a coat, which we find out is later for her brother Jon.
Oh yeah.
And then she received a letter bearing the White Falcon and Crescent Moon of House Aaron.
Oh yeah. And they're informing her that they're backing her, right?
Yeah, well, she opens it and it reads it's from Littlefinger.
Oh right, yeah.
And he's telling Sansa that he's close by, and he wants to meet up with her. And Brienne takes her to see Lord Baelish.
And then Peter sees a new Sansa. He's never seen her so
Confident
and vicious and brave. Yeah. He's stunned, obviously. So, what do you think?
Yeah, it's the first time you've seen Littlefinger without any words. He doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's guilty. He feels guilt because he didn't. I really believe he didn't know what
Ramsay
what he was sending Sansa to.
Littlefinger does say to Ramsay, "I know very little about you."
In season 5.
Yeah. Was it 5? Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. He kind of knows his father, Roose, but yeah, he's not too sure about his bastard. So anyway, she doesn't believe him that he didn't. She doesn't believe him that when he says, "I don't know how Ramsay was." So she has this mistrust to people now, which she's built over years of being abused and tortured.
And we see how Brienne's holding her sword.
When
hilt,
and when he didn't answer a question,
threatening Littlefinger.
shows he's very loyal to her.
But then Littlefinger, as he is, he
tried to offer her help, saying that the soldiers of the Vale can back her in the war. Yeah. But then again, she doesn't trust him. She doesn't want him. She says, "I don't want you. I don't need you. I can kill you right now, but I'm gonna." She kind of overpowered him. I can kill you right now if I want to. Your life is mine, but I'm gonna allow you. And then I think what you're gonna say next is
Littlefinger is Littlefinger. He flips it to be in a position of I wouldn't say power,
but putting doubt into her head. Playing the game.
Playing the game. Yeah.
Why
did he have to mention half brother?
So what did he say to her exactly?
Did he say?
Who you gonna be? Which soldiers are you gonna fight? Are gonna fight for you? Your half brother.
Yeah.
So
while he was walking away, he had to say half brother.
Yeah.
And then because Sansa,
he I think he noticed that she mistrusts people, so he's gonna add that to that mistrust by telling her that Jon Snow is not even your full brother. So why are you gonna trust him for?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna trust me. But then he does tell her about Brendan Tully, who's also reassembled his army.
At Riverrun,
who will be loyal to her. At Castle Black, Jon and the Onion Knight, Ser Davos, they are trying to figure out which house is going to be loyal to their cause.
Yeah, and they show us a map of the north, right?
We see the Mandarins, we see the Umbers, we see the Karstarks, and they're going back and forth. If they're going to be loyal, they're not going to be loyal. They've already joined the Boltons.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out who's going to be loyal. eventually, Sansa, she reveals that her uncle,
Brendan, what's his name? Brendan Tully? The Blackfish. She reveals to Jon and Davos Seaworth that her uncle has how many men? 2,000 men.
I don't think he had numbers, but he's
He has
rebuilding.
a force.
He's rebuilding his army,
Yeah.
which is a great force. And then they're like, okay, yeah, that's
The
cool.
Tullys will definitely back
her. But then John's like, okay, how did you find this out? And she lied to him by saying that she read it in a raven while she was at Winterfell. So you kind of think, she's not trusting John with this information.
Yeah.
Which is a bit strange. Maybe Littlefinger got to her.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, she tells Brienne to do that job of
going to Riverrun.
Yeah, to get the Tullys to fight for her. And then her and Jon and Davos will rally the remaining houses in the north, which they believe will be loyal to her cause.
Which brings us to House Mormont, because we see Davos with Mormont
in the trailer
banners. Yeah.
So everyone's packed up and ready to go, and we have two funny moments where Tom and Giantsbane and Brienne, he proper wants to get under her sheets, but she's not having it. And then the other funny part when Dolores said, and Jon, he says his final goodbyes to him, and Jon's like, it could be a bit of foreshadowing. Jon says to him,
"Don't bring the walls down, Ed."
Yeah, and then he's like, "I'll try not to." And then everyone's leaving, and then one of the crows said to Dolores, "Ed, should we close the gates, Lord Commander?" And he looks at him and he's like, "I'm not Lord Commander." And then he realizes, "I am Lord Commander." Yeah, shut the gates. Yeah.
That was the end of Castle Black.
Okay, so now in the Iron Islands, the scene a lot of people have been waiting for, we get the King's Moot finally.
King's Moot,
which is the basically the election of a new king of the Iron Islands.
Yeah, we should have seen this season 4 at least,
because it's earlier in the books, isn't it?
Yeah, because the Martell scene was useless, I guess.
So we've got like the priest Damphair who offers, or who's trying to call out anyone who wants to offer themselves as king, which is quite democratic. Yeah. You don't usually get that in the rest of Westeros, isn't it? And then Yara steps forward, saying that she has the right to lead because she's the daughter of
Balon Greyjoy,
the King Balon. So she has the right. She's a proven warrior. And Theon, and then a few people in the crowd are not happy with it, innit?
Yeah. Why would a woman lead us? We have Balon's son right here.
Right there, yeah.
And we see Theon walking, and it looks like he might make a claim or something.
Yeah, it's a bit of tense in it. Yeah. But he backs
his sister
Yara, eventually, saying that she's got experience.
She is Ironborn.
Yeah. She's more Ironborn than any of the men here. And then with Theon's backing, a lot of the men
cheered her on.
Eventually do back her. And then Damphair, he looks at the crowd again, saying, "Is there anyone else that wants to claim?" And then for a few seconds, no one steps forward. And then who do we see appear?
I am Euron Greyjoy.
Euron Greyjoy, yeah. So he wants to he wants to claim the throne.
Yeah.
What's it called? The
Sword Throne.
Sword Throne, yeah. And then he uses the same arguments that she's a girl. I've got experience. I've sailed all of the world. Yeah. And then he has this like his policies. I'm going to make the Iron Islands great again. A bit like Donald Trump, make America great again. Euron Greyjoy is like, I'm going to make the Iron Islands great again. He kind of has the same argument as Yara, but he has something extra, which because he's travelled as a well-travelled man, he has an extra.
The fleet.
He has an extra trick up his sleeve, which he reveals is Daenerys Stormborn.
Oh yeah.
She has a great army. She has dragons. We have a fleet. She needs to come to Westeros. Why don't we make an alliance with her? I can make that alliance happen by marrying her.
I brought up the theory that he might have burned her fleet.
Yeah. So that Marine, yeah. Or it could just been that Sons of the Harpy trying to cause havoc. But yeah, that is a theory. So then when he brings those when he, what do you call it? Yeah, once he makes his claim, we see that the Iron Islands
agree with him.
Yeah.
And they cheered him on.
Yeah. And then he's going through the ceremony. He's been inaugurated by Damphair. And while that's happening, He's been drowned in it.
Yeah, drowned.
Yeah.
And then he'll rise again as a
And then while that's happening,
stronger.
while that's happening,
Theon and Yara escape with those loyal to them.
and also with the Iron Fleet.
With the Iron Fleet, the most important.
The most important thing.
That was basically Euron's
Weapon. Yeah. To bring Daenerys. But then he's like, okay, that's fine. We're gonna go back home, chop more woods than you've ever chopped before.
How long will that take?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess by the beginning of next season.
It'll be done maybe. Yeah. So they're building the new fleet and they're gonna sell to Daenerys and get the dragons and Daenerys' army. But it looks like Theon and Yara have other plans.
What do you think they'll do with those?
I think they want to do the same thing, but
Go to Daenerys?
yeah, because we do see in a trailer that
Oh yeah, right.
that they are in Essos.
We see Yara kissing a girl,
Yeah.
a foreign girl. So okay, and then we head over to Vastofrak, and we see Jorah, Dario, and Dany with the Khalasar.
Mm.
And Jorah shows Daenerys his grayscale.
He finally confronts her with the grayscale.
And he
steps back a bit, innit? He doesn't want her to be infected by it.
And you see he actually loves her.
Which he admits.
So that he protects her, he agrees to leave her. And she he's back on her, walks off. And then she commands him to find a cure. I don't know how they'll do that, but
I've read on a few websites that could be the link between Jon and Daenerys meeting, because who else has cured themselves from grayscale? Shireen.
Oh yeah.
Baratheon, and who's Shireen's Baratheon's best friend? Davos. Who's Davos loyal to now? Jon Snow.
No,
And maybe Jorah's gonna go look for Davos. He maybe finds out that Shireen has cured herself from grayscale, and then he looks for Davos, and from there they meet Jon Snow.
But the thing is with Jorah, he let that spread and everything.
He's getting weaker, isn't he?
Yeah, Stannis Baratheon, the moment he found out that his daughter has grayscale, he had the money to find people
and the means
to heal her. Yeah, but Jorah was just traveling. So, yeah, she basically commands him to. She orders him to find a cure,
and to come back and be by her side.
And there's an emotional scene between them, and then the scene ends there. We don't see Dany again.
Staying in Essos, we head over to Meereen, and we're back with
our
Dany's great council.
Yeah, and the most loved man, Tyrion, and Varys. Basically, they
Sunday and Graham as well. I think they're there as well.
So they're having a little meeting about Daenerys' power. Yeah. They decided that they need more control over the people, and they agree that being a conqueror isn't the only hold
enough to consolidate your power. They want her to keep the power, not just to win it.
Yeah, and for our time, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, it's always to use religion. Yeah. And because Tyrion's, I think this is the second time he's seen the red priests. The first time when he was with Varys, he saw how the small folk were amused by in awe of the red priestess.
Yeah.
And then the second time when he
one that had
the Asian looking lady.
Yeah.
From Ashai. And then they saw the other red priest in Meereen, who also had devoted followers, listen to or grab into every one of his words. So then with this in the back of Tyrion's mind, his thoughts are, we need one for Dany.
Yeah.
And
so they decide to...
We're introduced with another priestess.
Who seems more powerful and more...
knowledgeable, more ancient.
Than Melisandre.
Yeah. I noticed that as well.
And she proper made the Varys sweat.
Yeah. He really hates magic. Yeah. But she believes that Daenerys is the chosen one, the prince that was promised.
Yeah.
Princess. Because High Valyrian, Old Valyrian, there's no
male female.
There's no female words, so it could be prince or princess. So she believes Dany's so they already kind of trust her or have her backing, because she already believes Daenerys to be
the chosen one.
Yeah.
Prince that was promised.
And Varys is not too happy with it, so he says, There was another red priestess in Westeros who believed that King Stannis was the chosen one. So
And he was defeated twice.
yeah, why do you guys contradict each other? And then she
said people make mistakes. And so. Did she
Yeah.
say it? Yeah, she said that.
yeah, but then she bang up his history, and he goes, you heard the voice in the fire when when black magic was done on him, and that kind of put fear back to Varys. This episode we had Littlefinger and Varys both lost for words.
Yeah. And they were the best game.
Yeah, they had the most wit and everything, both by women as well. So beyond the wall, we're in a vision with Bran and Bloodhaven. Yeah, and we're seeing how the White Walkers were created.
This was a big surprise to most fans. I'll say all fans actually. We see what was it, 4 or 5
Children of the Forest.
Children of the Forest.
Yeah.
One in particular had a dagger of dragon glass. She was walking towards the human that was.
We assume they're one of the first men, and I think it might be Stark.
Yeah.
Because they've always been in the north, and
he could be the first Night King as well.
Yeah, I think that as well could be. Doesn't look too dissimilar to him without all the blue. And so she stabs him straight into the chest, and then his eyes turn blue.
Yeah.
So we see that they created them to fight the first man, so they're kind of like soldiers, like Terminator.
Yeah.
Created to fight
enemies.
Their enemies, yeah.
But then it backfires on them.
Just like the Terminators, who become stronger than them, and then they take over. So we see that's how the White Walkers are created. And after that scene, everyone sleeps, has a rest. But Bran is still occupied by that vision that he had. So he wants to go back to that same spot in that same vision.
And
but it doesn't take him there, though, does it?
It doesn't take him there. It takes him to the same tree.
Yeah.
But
at
it's
a different
ice.
time.
Yeah,
at a different
it's
time.
ice and snow. Yeah, and it's a different time. Yeah.
Same spot, different period, and it's the army of the dead.
Yeah. They surround him. It's not. I wouldn't say surrounded.
They're controlled. They're frozen.
Yeah.
Waiting to be commanded by the Night King.
Yeah, exactly.
So Jon's in the middle of that, and he's looking at all these soldiers, all these dead army, and then he finally clocks the Night King, walks towards him, and then all of a sudden the Night King's right behind him,
and the army of the dead turn and look at Bran.
So he has the full control of them.
Yeah.
Of the dead.
And then the Night King grabs Bran by the arm, and then Bran screams and shouts.
Screams in the vision, and I think that was the best episode.
I agree.
I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll say 9 out of 10.
Definitely top 5 episodes of all of
the whole series.
Yeah, all of Game of Thrones. Really enjoyed it. We learned a lot of things,
and we have more questions as well.
Yeah,
we have a lot more questions.
I like the season so far because a lot of things have been done. There hasn't been a lot of useless scenes. A lot of things have been done quickly, which is
we're halfway through, Mo.
Yeah,
5 seasons in, 5 episodes in.
Hope you liked our review, and please join us next week. Subscribe and like if you can.
This is Kay,
and this is Mo, and this is Total Law.
Total Law.